Hello everybody and welcome back to Chapter Master and another of my custom chapters. Now today I'm doing actually my own personal Primaris force I came up with back when 8th edition came out, the Iron Hounds. Now the reason I actually thought about this, even though there was a good suggestion for a chapter in my Discord, thank you lads for giving me more suggestions. Anyway, back to the point. Was because for $100 was the Dark Imperium side of the all the Primaris Marines from the Dark Imperium box set, and I was really tempted to get it, but then I was like, well, I don't really need it, so I passed on it. So instead, we shall live them in here. I think that auction's still open, actually. For $100 for like 40 Primaris Marines, it's actually tempting, even though I hate Primaris Marines. But anyway, back to the point. So the Iron Hounds. Now, their symbol is a red wolf head. On the books, their records state that they are descended from the Iron Hands. However, the Iron Hands don't believe that they are successors of them, and believe they are in fact Ultramarine successors, so there's quite a bit of muddying amongst the Iron Hounds as to who they belong to. Of course, they're part of the Ultima founding, Primaris Marines, bought from Terra and Mars in the majority, and it's a full Primaris chapter. Now, they're fleet-based, standard strength and cooperation for the Codex. That should be full to represent the Primarisness, but I had to cut some cops. Now, bolter drilling to represent the enhanced bolt weaponry of Primaris. Now, melee enthusiasts, lightning warriors, is because the Iron Hounds are incredibly close combat orientated and aggressive, even amongst the standards of Astartes, to the point that a lot of their Primaris weapons and tactics don't quite gel with their fighting style. Of course, brothers all, because the other thing about the Iron Hounds is very brother focused. Like, they always fight for the brother beside them. Very much the idea of brotherhood and standing up for the warrior beside you is a key factor in the culture and identity of the Iron Hounds, even though that they are a relatively new chapter. Again, flesh blood to represent them being a relatively new chapter, and splintered because the Iron Hounds tend to operate in packs, a few, maybe anything between 20 to like 100 or a couple hundred warriors at a time. So that's to represent their pack status as they go around. Alright, now, their flagship, the Iron Armourer, that's actually what the game came up with, and I'm going to stick with it. In my headcanon, though, their battle barge isn't actually a battle barge. Their flagship is in fact a Gothic class, a Retribution class Grand Cruiser, formerly belonging to the Imperial Navy. Now, for those of you unaware of that type of ship, and wondering why does a Space Marine chapter have a Imperial Navy vessel, well, the Retribution class Grand Cruisers had a slight problem. Nobody liked using them because the warp drive was actually linked to the Galliffield, and it had an unfortunate habit of failing at infrequent times. Therefore, nobody really liked using those vessels, and they tended to be mothballed as much as possible. So when the Iron Hounds discovered a fleet, one of those ships basically, floating in the middle of the void, spat out by the Great Rift, they repurposed it for their own ends. Why hasn't the Imperial Navy come looking for it? Because they don't know about it, because my guys are on the other side of the Great Rift. And secondly, even if they did know about it, they probably wouldn't want it back, because again, Imperial Navy really hate that class of ship. So there we go. Now, Death World, I like to think the Iron Hounds actually just recruit from any world they save. So they save a world, they come across it and go, we saved you, we want, 1,000 youths. And they kind of strong-arm worlds into giving them people. Survival of the fittest, I mean, again, they shove gene seed into you. If you survive the process, then you're a Marine. If you don't, well, you're just meat for the servitors. Telekinesis, just to give them a bit of a different flair. I like that. Battle Cry for the Brotherhood, death to our foes. I like this colour scheme, although I'd like the blue to be a bit more blue. And I'd like the copper... actually, oh, there we go. Yeah, the copper actually extends to their trim and backpack in my personal colour scheme. Of course, all Primaris things, so Hellblasters, Intercessors, Aggressors, Inceptors, usual stuff. Yeah, names are all fine. We're just going to add that gene seed mutation, actually, because it doesn't actually affect anything in here. And because, I think that one. That's fine. Yeah, because the Iron Hounds are a little bit grumpy, shall we say. I think Herakel sounds like a cooler name. Mastercrafted Eviscerator and a Melter Gun. So it's pretty badass. So there we go. Alright. Hellblasters, Whirlwinds. Cool. Bretonia. One. I'm sorry. Bretonia. And it's a dead world. Oh, too soon, guys. Alright. 2 escorts. 1 frigate. So 2 escorts can go to Istvan. That wasn't actually Exterminatus in the end. No, it was, but they didn't completely blow up the planet. Kind of funny, really. Those are Tyranids. I guess we'll move those guys to here. Ah, the Iron Armourer itself. We'll have them move and deal with those Tyranids. We've got 1 frigate. Extreme Tyranids again. We probably need to coordinate the Iron Hounds packs into more organized defenses. Alright. Impressive. Those are twin escorts. Lots of Tyranids in this sector. To be fair, as I said, in my canon, these guys are deployed to the other side of the Great Rift. And they're stationed not near Baal, but, you know, a few sectors jump away. So for them to be fighting Tyranids actually makes a bit of sense. So I think that's not a stupid idea overall. It's a frigate. What have they got? Tyranid, heavy, extreme. Alright. Yes, let's begin. Where are some of my ships? I'll just let them go off and do their own thing, I suppose. Just checking I haven't missed anyone. Oh, I know they are supposed to be there. Back up the Imperial Navy if anything goes wrong. Alright, Istvan. Nothing at Istvan. Good. You can go to there. You've got 1 company of warriors. Probably mobilize you to meet up with them. Ooh. Defense fleet. Of course, you need to go that way. The Iron Hounds don't really much care for other Imperial institutions. A lot of them did come from Mars, but again, they don't really tend to sort of dwell on that. They're more about the Brotherhood beside them. Again, the Iron Hounds, as I said, are listed as 10th Legion successors, Iron Hands. And they do tend to use, the Iron Hounds tend to use a number of cybernetic implants, but it's more on the course of, you know, during general battle, they tend to, you know, arm gets blown off, just replace it with a robot one and throw you back out into the fight. They have a few cranial implants as well, littered amongst the chapters, but that's not hugely a massive amount. And we're going to organize a bombing run on the Tyranids. Alright. Just waiting for the other guys to get into position. Ooh, what's here? Ah, 2 escorts. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Let's bomb the Tyranids again. I'm sure there's 3 ships in that fleet. well, 1 battle barge, 1 strike cruiser, and 2 escorts. Or to be fair, 1 Retribution class cruiser, 1 strike cruiser, and 2 escorts. Very nicely done. Nice. I like to think as extreme pragmatists who, you know, understand necessity better than many Astartes chapters, they were just bombing the Tyranids because they're larger concentrations in spite of the Ecclesiarchy asking them to just land and help defend their temples. And then they launched their ground assault once they actually had units available to assist. Alright. Honor Guard, that's very nice. Also, these guys can be upgraded with any weapon, can't they? Artificial Armor. Oh yeah, because my chapter's relatively new, they don't have much fancy new armor, do they? Oh, they've got enough for 10 suits of Terminators. Or aggressors, as I to use the Primaris terms. What have we got? I'm just going to go on a bit of a shopping spree. Because I kind of feel like the Honor Guard should at least have some fun weaponry. But yeah, so anyway, this is my personal Primaris chapter. Again, as I said, relatively new. They've been fighting alongside, as I said, a lot of Blood Angel successors. And, you know, as they are around Bal. And the Blood Angels are actually, well, the successors have actually noted that these guys tend to actually fight with an equal amount of aggression as them. Even though they don't have the first or anything at all. They still seem to be prolific in the arts of killing. Which has questioned many of them to wonder that alongside with their lack of hatred of flesh, if these guys are actually Iron Hand successors, or if that's just bollocks, something which a few other Astartes that have worked with them seem to be thinking as well. Alright, we're going to ditch the Flamer and give you a bolter again. What about a bolt pistol? Alright, so pistols will work in this scenario. Power Axe. How does Power Axe actually? 130 damage melee splash, 120 damage melee splash. Oh yeah, I think I pointed this out before. Power Axes, right, cost $10, yet they actually do 10 more damage. And they both got the same melee splash bonuses, so it's literally crazy not to take Power Axes. Like, it confuses me. But, you know, as I said, who knows? Power Axe and Bolter. Alright, replace your bolters with Flamers. Replace your Flamer with a Melter Gun. And Exodus, I think Exodus sounds like a pretty badass guy, so you know what? Let's give him a Thunder Hammer. I thought I bought one. Oh, I bought a Force Weapon instead of a Thunder Hammer. That's dumb. Oh, I meant to buy a Thunder Hammer. Well, Exodus can still get himself a Thunder Hammer now. Power Axe for Thunder Hammer. See, 300 damn melee splash armor piercing is pretty metal. You've got Power Gun Melt for Gore Bolters, Lightning Claw Bolt Pistols. See, that's a more organized Honor Guard. That looks more metal. Mastercrafted Eviscerator, 240 damn. See, his Thunder Hammer's clocking more damage than his bloody Mastercrafted Eviscerator. But to be fair, Mastercrafted Eviscerator is a bit more metal. So yeah, what else about the Iron Hounds? As I said, because they're Primaris, I hadn't actually come up with too much lore aside from the colour scheme, the basic idea of their founding and a few things. As I said, they're notorious scavengers, which I couldn't actually put under their chapter rules because I ran out of points. Hence the fact that their flagship is a repurposed Imperial Navy Grand Cruiser. And they also have one other Gothic class cruiser. No, Gothic class light cruiser as part of their fleet as well. However, upon hearing of the resalvaging of Imperial Navy vessels, Dante, as Lord Regent of the Imperium Nihilus, the northern sector of the Imperium, did tell the Iron Hounds to cut that shit out and to report any wrecks or Imperial Navy vessels or Mechanicum vessels back to the... Damn, chain axes are good. Back to the Imperial Navy. Although Dante himself was not convinced after hearing of the Iron Hound's reputation that they would actually follow this. So it's kind of one of those things of, we're going to tell you off eventually. So let's hope it's now. Or let's hope we don't have to though. Again, as I said, the Iron Hounds are very aggressive melee combat specialists. However, they are also very Brotherhood focused. A lot of gladiatorial bouts between warriors. The idea is if there is a dispute, then strip to the waist with a training sword, fight it out. Once you're done, walk away. The result is the result. Walk away and get a few drinks later. And that's kind of the philosophy, which seems to actually be serving them pretty well. As I said, there's not too many major issues that have been going on in the chapter. Everyone seems all buddy-buddy. Alright, lots of Tyranids. Well, I think we'll go deal with some of these orcs. So yeah, as I said, I was going to do the colour scheme. I was actually going to paint some of the models, but they were a bit expensive at launch. And as I said, now I can get the full box for $100, but it's been pointed out to me that I should probably finish the Sisters of Battle I've started first. And with the current crisis of, which I'm not even going to deign to talk about because it's all been overhyped by the media, I should probably save some money. Which I guess makes sense. It's still overhyped by the media though. Alright. Where are the Honor Guard actually? Ah, Honor Guard is up there. That's cool. 60 Inceptors. Oh yeah, because Inceptors are the Primaris version of Assault Marines, aren't they? That's right. Alright. Alright, let's... I want some more folk coordinated bombing. Looks like these Tyranids won't go down below heavy, necessitating us gutting them. Which is something that I like to imagine the Iron Hounds are actually more than happy about. Oh, the enemy's dead? Well, good. Bombing them was necessary, but it's nice to get our feet. Oof. Our feet dirty. And our blades sharp. Nicely done. Alright. Also, I was going to not even bother mentioning it and see if anyone picked it up in the comments, but if you know what this colour scheme originally is, and you've been listening to my explanations about them, you can pretty swiftly deduce who the gene seed of this chapter originally belongs to. And it isn't the Iron Hands. We'll just leave it at that and let the mystery flow through. I like to have a bit of mystery in my day. Nice, like raid these guys to death. Oh, Tyranners are fun to kill. Because they actually die. Alright, let's carry on. Excellent. How are the scouts doing? Oh yeah, I outfitted all the scouts with bolters rather than sniper rifles because I think that fits a lot better in with the Iron Hounds' tactics and sensibility. But there we go. Lion of Archaeum. Where is some of my locations? Holobrom, Holoman, Manticore, Salus. Wait. There's a company there. Oh, hiding aboard an escort. Oh, the game glitch. I didn't think there was anyone there. Is it Shield Slayer and Destroyer Judgment? No, okay, so there's nobody on these two, but there is somebody, a company over here. Well, in that case, we can probably raid these sparse guys. 100 company, 100 of Space Marines should be able to do it. Also, I've just decided now, my own headcanon, that the Lion of... No, the Scourge... Yeah, the Lion of Archaeon is in fact that Gothic light cruiser I was talking about. That the Iron Hounds have repurposed. That's why it can actually carry a adequate number of Space Marines for this mission. There we go. Canon reason for why the game is weird. I am a genius on alternate Wednesdays. Boosh. Again, launch a raid. We might actually outfit this company with, well, to be fair, they've all got chain axes, haven't they? Like, all the assault marines are actually start out with chain axes, which is pretty metal. It just gives me that extra 20 damage right off the bat. Also, I should probably have outfitted the tactical marines with chain axes. That's a good point. Need 389. How much would that cost? 389 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12, so that would be 1200. 8 times 4... 32... No, 24. Yeah, 24. 8 times 4 is 24. And 6, so that would be 1300. Yeah, 10 times 4 is 24. So that would be 240. Plus 3 times 4. Yeah, it'd be about 1300-ish. Man, it's been a while since I've had to do maths. Alright, may as well launch another raid. Iron Hounds can keep these orcs pruned. Nicely done. I don't actually have the numbers to kill a heavy orc force, and 2 escorts can't bombard, so I'm literally resorting to pruning these orcs back. Gives these guys good experience, though. Alright. Moderate orc forces again. I'm imagining the Iron Hounds are actually having fun with this. They're pragmatists enough to know that they can't take the central world, so they just pledge themselves to defending the outlying systems. And they're just Yeah, just cutting them apart with bolt and blade. Nice. They shall go deal with these guys. You can go move up there. Destroy a judgment. Anyone aboard to destroy a judgment? No. Okay. Also, just thinking, what company is these guys? The Lion of Archeon and the Scourge Slayer. So this is Knight Company. Well, I think the logical and the polite thing to do is at least... How have they got... I'm assuming they've got heavy weapons. Alright. I know intercessors have got their bolt rifles, however, it's polite, it's nice to give them some specialised weaponry as well. Which again is one of my problems with bloody Primaris. And it takes all the individuality out of squads. Because they're all armed with the same bloody weapon. And then you just give them shitty alternate weapons. Like, you have dedicated squads for that. You can have bolt rifle, automatic bolt rifle, or stalker bolt rifle. You can't add a flamer, or a plasma gun, or anything exciting like that. It's just what you get. Stormbolter gets access to the improved damages as well. What else have we got in the armory shed? May as well. P. Power Sword. 3, 4, 5. We shall give them power access since... don't I have, Oh, I have power swords. And 1 power axe. Okay, I thought that was the other way around. Jeez, my brain is starting to decay on itself. Re-equip. I guess we'll give him the power axe. And then we may as well just be random about this. 1 member of every squad. Power swords. Awesome. There you go, they're our designated sergeants. Heavy bolt, heavy weapons are all fine. Yeah, we're not really going to be able to get most of our vehicles. But then I like to think the Iron Hounds are not really vehicle based, they're just infantry. Infantry based. They're not really fussed with all your pansy running around in tanks. Just charge them with a sword and kick their ass. Works for everyone else. Nicely done. Melter guns and Stormbolter fires are good. Also, we should probably check armamentarium. Yeah, I may as well throw this out to the audience. If you have any ideas for what you think the Iron Hounds should be like, let me know. I'm actually fascinated to hear other people's interpretations of things I come up with. So what do you reckon about the Iron Hounds? What do you reckon their quirks are? Do you reckon they've got into any arguments with any Imperial officials, or do you think that they're sort of just more friendly? More friendly with everybody in the end, sort of thing. And we'll buy a plasma pistol for fun to give to the Knight Company captain. And plasma pistol. Also, you know what? We're gonna replace the standards thing and give him a lightning claw, because that's metal. Banner bearer with a lightning claw, that's pretty metal. Alright, that's pretty cool. And we're going to give these guys a name. The Bane of Greenskins. And I like to think that they've earned that from their time on Sullus. They're proving themselves to be the Bane of Greenskins, which is something that the company takes a lot of pride in. Alright, now let's see how this goes. Nicely done. Power swords. Right, moving together. Damn, those bolt pistols, chain axes, and power swords are pretty metal. Alright. Gonna launch another bombing. Oh, I have to do wait next turn for that. Orc fleet. That's slightly annoying, but tolerable. I need escorts to move over there. Now, we're just going to do a peek and make sure I haven't missed any fleets or any... I have! I've missed a frigate. Okay. They were probably dueling in the combat pits for a while waiting for orders, as were the rest of the chapter. Awesome. I'm an expert at micromanagement. I played this game for 500 million years, I'll have you know. You wouldn't think it, and you would be right not to think that. Good. Mech boys and flash gets. Nicely done. Oh, can you just finish raiding them to death? Again, as I said, I like to think the Iron Hounds are pragmatists, so they like... Some people will be like, there's not, 39 lives of the miners on that planet. We can't let them die. And the Iron Hounds are just like, listen, mate. Sacrifices have to be made, and we're going to make them. So, deal with it. What's the event log? PDF. Oh, killed in the rebellion, eh? We shall have to mobilize the chapter to go up and deal with those guys. We'll mobilize the entire half of the chapter I had no idea existed. I think that's a wise strategy for us to take. Also, I've just thought of a name for whoever's on Cobra Chief. 4th Company? 6th? 7th? Right. They can go that way. Now, rest of the chapter can go there. The Bane of the Orc Killers can just keep killing orcs until I tell them to stop. I wonder how much it would cost to give all these guys power weapons. I mean, chain axes are pretty metal. Also, I haven't actually even been bothering with SDCs, I've just been ignoring it. Any SDCs there? Yes, but none of the combat chapters have any... Nah, never mind. We'll sort that out later. Alright. Also, weird question, Night Company. How many assault marines are you rocking? Scepter's 30. Oh, shoot. This is cheaper. Oh well, I guess I'll have a mix of power axes and power swords. I can't believe I forgot my own advice. That's so annoying on my part. Power swords. Power swords. We'll give them power axes. Nice. That's going to provide a lot more killing power. Oh. I've got 8 power axes and 10 power swords. Where's this deficit of power swords we're talking about? Oh no, we've still got some. Sweet. May as well give these guys power axes since... power swords, fine. I mean, we may as well. We're not spending the money on vehicles, and we don't actually have much recruitment costs at the moment, so we may as well trick out the chapter with some decent weaponry. I like to think the Iron Hounds is a part of their brotherhood. Oh, we'll turn that to moderate. As a part of their idea of brotherhood, they ensure that everyone in the chapter has adequate weaponry for their jobs. They're not going to let a brother, they scavenge a lot of weapons, but all of that scavenged weaponry actually is useful. Like, they'll scavenge something and make it useful. They won't just scavenge something and give you a broken bloody bolter to go into battle with. Nicely done. Of course, but that'll actually be handy for the future. Ah, they're bloody threatening a Forge World. I need to mobilize that half of the chapter to go deal with them. Nice. The Bane of Orcs are doing an incredibly good job. Alright. I think we're going to go deal with the corruption on guard now. Meanwhile, these guys can bomb the crap out of them. And followed by raiding with a 400 Space Marines, which will, very nicely done, cut up those guys. Oh, I like having decent numbers. And I like having bolter drilling and melee enthusiasts. It just makes the day go a lot nicer. Alright. Well, on the bright side, we do have no vessels that can bomb with, but that's fine. How about we go chapter select? Oh! Have I seriously... I think I've soft-locked the bloody playthrough doing that. I hate that. It was sad because I actually wanted to keep the Iron Hounds. Oh dear. Well, lesson for today, lads. Do not press bombard if you do not have any frigate or battle barge class escorts in your fleet. It will crash your game. And I guess we'll have to say farewell to the Iron Hounds. That's so sad. I like these guys. Ah, farewell.